So let's add a gradient to our cloud. Remember, go back to your selection tool. You have to get out of the shape builder tool. Select your shape here and go to your gradient panel. Now you have to apply the gradient first and then you can change the colors. So over here, I'm going to click on this topmost thumbnail and that applies it. Cool. Now in the gradient panel, if you look at the slider, these circles, or as they are called, color stops, change the colors or hold the colors. So I'm going to double click this white circle and this allows me to change the color. So I'm gonna pick a nice light blue for this side, click out, double click this, and pick a nice dark blue for this side. Good, and click out. And there's my gradient. Now remember, it's from one color to another, not just two colors. You can do 3, 4, 7, 17, 1700, okay? I don't recommend you do more than 3, though otherwise it starts looking cartoony. But to add more colors, simply go back to your slider, hover your cursor right under it until you see that little plus sign, and then simply click. This adds another color, to which then you can double click and again change it up. All right. Now remember, you are in full control. You are not locked into how these colors flow together. You can actually move these circles and control where and how much of each color is in your gradient. And you can see as I change them on the slider here, it changes in my object here. Okay, good. Now what if you added too many? What if you don't want 3 anymore? What if you were experimenting and you had 5, 6, or 7 and you don't want them anymore? Well, simply click it and then press the trash can. Or just simply drag them off like this. Drag down. Okay, next, take a look at your shape and notice that the gradient flows from left to right in a linear fashion. Sometimes we don't want that, right? Like when it comes to a sky or even this cloud. We want the gradient to flow from top to bottom. So how do we change that? Again, look at your tools on the left-hand side and you're going to look for the gradient tool. Okay, so when creating gradients, you not only need the tool, but you need the panel. They work together. Okay, look for it here. It's the black to white box. And when you click it, it converts your object here and shows you the line that is the gradient. So to change the flow, simply go to where you want to start. I'm going to start up here at the top of my cloud and then click and drag down. And now you can see we've changed the direction. And you can drag this any way you want. I can go from corner to corner. I can go from bottom to top. I can go from like barely inside to barely outside, right? To each his own. You can make your gradient flow however you want. Good. Lastly, take a look at your gradient panel again and notice that there are different types. All right, you can see right here, the first one is linear. It moves across a line. The second one is called radial. This one converts it into a circular gradient, which is also cool for like, I don't know, circular objects, right? Your sun, your moon, tires, balls, whatever. You can also move this around. You can move your center point around and re-drag it, okay, and remake your center point, which is really cool. Okay. Now, using gradients is required in your upcoming landscape project. Why? Well, to be honest, stuff with gradients just looks a little bit more realistic, right? Let's compare this cloud to this cloud like this, right? Like this one looks way more realistic than this one. Okay, so use gradients whenever possible to really make your designs pop.